Hey, everybody. Happy Friday, December 5th, 2025. Month end close is almost over. Monday, for me at least, is the last day of month end close. We are finishing strong. It's a good feeling when you make it through month end close alive. Let's talk about it. How to turn free consultations into long term bookkeeping clients. Let me give you a brief overview of what we are about to talk about. Discovery calls, not just a sales pitch, but a discovery call, diagnosing the real problem behind messy books, presenting one clear solution, not 10 different options, using simple language when explaining the process, and closing confidently and leading to the next step. So, if that sounds interesting, stick around. I'm going to be going live for the next 30 minutes. If you're watching live right now, feel free to ask questions in the chat. I will stick around as long as I possibly can to answer as many questions as I possibly can. So if you're watching live on YouTube, ask as many questions. And also let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. I do have some technical difficulties sometimes. I do apologize. If you're listening to my podcast on Apple or Spotify and you prefer to watch the video, I'm available on YouTube. The exact same name, bookkeeping expert, Zach Pasquarello. Find me on YouTube. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. All of my social media channels are linked down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my podcast, follow me on all my social media channels. I'm putting out content every single day that will definitely help you start and grow your bookkeeping business, or maybe just motivate and inspire you to try other things as well. And then finally, if you're watching the replay of this video, I go live every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch live, if you want to join the 60 to 100 people who typically join every single morning, if you want to join them, then tune in live. I would love to have you. I would love to answer some of your questions. Let's talk about it. How to turn free consultations into long-term bookkeeping clients. Number one, the discovery call, not just a sales pitch. Truly a discovery call. Everybody always asks me, how do I start a sales call? How do I start a consultation? How do you start a discovery call? And it is kind of awkward. It's kind of tough. What do you say? How do you handle it? Who goes first? What do you talk about? That awkward small talk in the beginning. Let me just break it down for you really simply. Hey, this is Zach Pasquarello. How's it going? Is now still a good time to talk? Okay, great. Why don't you start by telling me a little bit about your business? It's really that simple. That's literally all you have to do. Introduce yourself. Hey, this is Zach Pasquarello. Be polite. How are you doing today? Make sure it's a good time. It's now still a good time to talk. That's it. Those three things. That's all you have to say. And then boom, immediately. Okay, great. How about you start by telling me a little bit about your business? That's why you're on the call. You're a bookkeeper. They're a business owner. They need help with their bookkeeping. So skip all the small talk, skip all the nonsense. If you know the person already, sure, have a little bit of small talk. How's the family? How was church? How's everything going? How's the basketball team? Sure, ask them. If you know them, that's fine. That's totally different. But if it's a complete stranger, those three simple things. Hey, this is Zach Pasquarello. How are you doing today? Is now still a good time to talk? Okay, great. Why don't you start by telling me a little bit about your business? And then stop talking. Don't talk. Let them do all the talking. Let them talk as much as they possibly can. You have to listen, actively listen. So typically, if I'm taking a sales call, I don't like to be out and about. I don't like to be at the gym or at a restaurant or driving or in the kitchen making dinner or playing in the backyard with my kids. If I'm taking a sales call, a discovery call, a consultation, I like to be in my office, no distractions, no noise, headphones in, computer open, pen and paper, taking notes, actively listening. That's super, super important. Basically, they are going to tell you their problems. They're going to tell you what they need and what they're looking for and what they need help with. This is your opportunity. Now, I can't give you an exact script for how this conversation is going to go because every business owner has different problems. But excuse me, chances are they either had a bookkeeper before, didn't like them, or they've never had a bookkeeper before and they've never kept up with their books and they're stressed out, or they have been doing their bookkeeping by themselves on their own and it might be okay, but they just don't have time to do it, or it might be a total disaster and they're stressed out. So either way, they are stressed out and they don't have enough time to keep up with their bookkeeping, or they don't like their previous bookkeeper. So listen to what they're talking about. Don't focus so much on selling them your services, but instead focus on solving their problems. They are stressed out, they are frustrated, overwhelmed, anxious, scared, lacking time, overwhelmed with their time, not able to keep up, unorganized, operating blindly. So focus on their problems and come up with their solutions. You are their solutions. So if you're offering a free consultation, spend 15, 20 minutes with them and actually help them. I promise you, don't be afraid to give away all your secrets. You are not going to give away so many secrets that they're going to be like, wow, that 20-minute consultation just solved the next 3 years of my bookkeeping and financial problems in my business. I'm good. I don't need to hire Zach because he just talked to me for 20 minutes and he gave me all these great tips and secrets and strategies. I'm good. For the next 3 years, I don't need a bookkeeper. That's obviously ridiculous. That would never happen. People need a bookkeeper. People need somebody to record their transactions and reconcile their accounts and generate their financial reports. So your job here is to solve their problems and maybe offer them a solution, walk them through, provide value. If you could help somebody on a 20-minute sales consultation, that is infinitely more valuable than just trying to pitch them or then just trying to sell them your services, because it's one thing to be sold. We're sold constantly. People are always trying to sell us stuff. But if you can actually help them, then you are just literally going to accomplish two things at the same time. One, you're going to actually help them and just do a good deed for the day. But number two, you're going to sell them naturally and more efficiently because you just solved their problem. So they're like, wow, if Zach can help me out in 20 minutes, imagine what he could do if I hired him as my actual bookkeeper. Number two, diagnose the real problem behind messy books. So bad bookkeeping has real consequences. And let me just say real quick, I noticed there's a few more people joining live. If you have questions, let me know in the chat. As soon as I get through my notes, I will answer everybody's questions. Right now, we're just talking about how to turn free consultations into long-term bookkeeping clients. It starts with a discovery call, actually listening to the problems. It's not just a sales pitch. Number two, diagnosing the real problem. So there's a connection between bad bookkeeping and real consequences, missed tax deductions, late filing fees, cash flow problems, owner stress, time management. When the client actually understands the true cost of disorganized books, then the value of monthly bookkeeping becomes obsolete. The price, the value is obvious, the price is obsolete. Who cares? It's priceless. If you can reduce my stress and free up my time and help me manage my cash flow and help me file my taxes on time, then your services are literally priceless. So I got this from Alex Ramosi. What does he say? Don't focus on the trip, focus on the destination. Don't focus on the airplane, focus on the vacation. If you're a travel agent, you're not talking about the flight from Chicago to Hawaii. You're not talking about the flight from Los Angeles to Cancun, Mexico. You're not talking about the flight, you're talking about the vacation. How amazing it's going to be in Hawaii. How amazing the beaches are in Mexico, how warm it is in Florida, how amazing the ski slopes are in Colorado. You focus on the outcome, focus on the vacation, focus on the results, focus on the reducing the stress, freeing up their time, having accurate, timely financial reports. They don't care about, I'm going to record your transactions every single day and I'm going to make sure your debits and credits equal out. I'm going to make sure that your accounts are reconciled. They care about that, but that's not what's going to sell them on the bookkeeping. Sell them on the bookkeeping by saying, hey, I take care of all the bookkeeping for you. Yes, I record transactions. Yes, I reconcile accounts. That's obvious. That's the stuff that every bookkeeper should be doing. I get you your financial reports on a monthly basis. The first 10 days of every month, I'm going to be getting you your financial reports. So sell them the results. Sell them you solving their problems, because not having bookkeeping actually does have real consequences. Like business owners actually go out of business because they run out of cash flow. Okay, a couple more points here and then we'll get to the chat. Looks like more people are joining. Looks like more people are asking questions. So present one clear solution, not 10 different options. So I did mention that By me helping you with your bookkeeping, you might have better cash flow. You might have your taxes filed on time. Your employees might get paid on time. So all of that could potentially seem confusing. So I do just want to be clear. I'm only offering one clear solution. So I might talk about taxes, excuse me. I might talk about taxes and employees and payroll and cash flow, but just to be clear, I don't actually manage your cash flow. I don't actually file your taxes. I don't actually pay your employees. I don't actually run payroll. Those are all separate services. In fact, I am a highly specialized bookkeeper. So I'm only going to be recording your transactions and reconciling your accounts and generating your financial reports so that you and your controller, you and your CFO, you and your tax accountant, you and your CPA, you and your tax strategist can make those next level decisions. I'm creating the reports so that you and your controller, you and your CFO can manage your cash flow, file your taxes, and plan for the next quarter. So be very clear about what you do. Keep it very, very simple. One thing I like to do is I will explain to people everything you're doing in QuickBooks right now, everything your office manager is doing in QuickBooks right now, I can do for you. That's pretty simple. I can record transactions and generate financial reports and reconcile accounts. So everything that's being done in QuickBooks right now, I manage your QuickBooks for you, unless you're using QuickBooks to manage accounts receivable and accounts payable. In that case, let your office manager continue to create your invoices, but I will do everything else. Present one clear solution. New bookkeepers, here's the thing. New bookkeepers tend to over explain because you might feel a little bit insecure. You might feel like if it sounds too simple, it might sound like I don't know what I'm doing. In fact, I believe it's the opposite. Make it sound so super simple, and that makes you look like an expert. If you're able to take something seemingly complicated and simplify it and explain it in simple terms, that actually, in my opinion, proves that you're more of an expert and less of an amateur. So new bookkeepers tend to over explain things. Just make sure you present a simple offer. Here's what I'll do for you every month. Here's what you get. Here's the price. One main package with everything clearly explained. Okay, two more things. Use simple language when explaining the process. Simple language. Try to avoid, don't talk about debits and credits. Try to avoid, sometimes I don't even like talking about reconciling accounts because sometimes that confuses people. So record transactions, categorize your transactions, put them in the correct buckets. Reconcile your accounts. That just means I'm making sure that everything in your bank account, everything in your QuickBooks is accurate. Penny for penny, making sure everything matches, everything is accurate. Reconciling your accounts and then generating your financial reports, your profit and loss and your balance sheet. Those are the two financial reports that you need to file your taxes and to make high-level business decisions. Last thing, closing confidently and leading to the next step. What does Alex Ramosi say? Bam, fam. Book a meeting from a meeting. Bam, fam. Book a meeting from a meeting. Never forget it. I got it from Alex. I'm not going to take credit for it. Never forget it. Bam, fam. Book a meeting from a meeting. So you got this free consultation. Maybe you offered a 30-minute free consultation to help somebody with their books, but don't just hang up. Ask for something in return. Maybe that's a Google review. If you're not actually trying to get them as a client, that's a Google review, or maybe that's a referral. Like, hey, hope this free. I know I offered this free 60-minute bookkeeping diagnostic, bookkeeping free consultation, and we've been on the phone for 60 minutes. I walked you through all this stuff. I helped you a ton. Would you mind referring me to 3 of your entrepreneur friends who you think might need a bookkeeper? Better yet, how about we do this? This would mean the world to me. Could you send a group text with me and 3 and another one of your friends and just introduce me to them? Be like, hey, here's Zach. He's a bookkeeper. He just spent an hour helping me with my books. If you ever need help with your QuickBooks, reach out to him. If you could do that with 3 of your entrepreneur friends, that would mean the absolute world to me. And consider this free 1-hour consultation, free of charge. And that would be really amazing if you could help me out like that. Or maybe not do that. Maybe if you could leave me a Google review and a Facebook review, that would be really amazing. If you could post on your social media profile, maybe just make one quick post about how Zach at Harrisburg Bookkeeping helped you with your QuickBooks, that would be incredible. I would really appreciate that. Or finally, maybe you are trying to land them as a client. Like, hey, I helped you. Do you want me to maybe actually take a look at your QuickBooks? Maybe I could send you a quote. Maybe we could see how much it would actually cost. Maybe we could do a 3-month trial. I know Christmas is coming up, the holidays. How about we do this? How about I'll do your bookkeeping October, November, December at discounted rate, $200 a month. And then starting in January, we'll bump it up to 250 for the next 3 months, see how it goes. How about that? So bam, fam, book a meeting from a meeting, try to get something out of the free consultation. Always end a meeting with next steps. So hope that was helpful. All right. There's almost 60 people watching live. Tons of people are asking questions. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the questions and let's answer some questions. Before I get to that, let me just say this video is sponsored by Zip Capital. This is my real estate private money lending fund. So I am raising capital. People can invest into my investment fund, Zip Capital. There's a link down below to register on my website. And I'm offering 8% up to 12% fixed returns to accredited investors. The minimum to invest is $25,000. You can invest into my fund. And then here's what I do. I take your money. So I've got $1 million of my own money, and then I've got $3 million of other people's money. So I've got a $4 million real estate loan portfolio. So right now I take other people's money and then I lend it to real estate investors, and I mitigate risk by underwriting my borrowers. So people give me money, they trust me with their money, and then I underwrite real estate borrowers in Pennsylvania. I look at the property, I look at their tax returns, financial reports, bank statements. I underwrite them as borrowers, just like a bank does if you're trying to get a mortgage. I underwrite them as borrowers, and then I lend them money. So I charge them 12% annual interest, origination fee, underwriting fee, processing fee. So they pay me 12% annual interest. That's how I can pay my investors 8 to 12% fixed returns. And then all my loans are secured with a mortgage on the property, all in Pennsylvania. So if you want to join my local investment fund, there's a link down below. Register on my website. I would love to chat with you and see if we can work together. Okay, enough of that. Sorry, I got to mention it every time, but let's talk about the questions. Let's see, music. Actually, let me take a really quick 5-second coffee break. I guess it's not actually coffee, it's an Americano. I got an espresso machine, Barista Express. I didn't get an espresso machine. I got my wife an espresso machine for her birthday. Her birthday is November 25th. I got her an espresso machine. She specifically asked for it, but I get to use it. I love it. It's so much better than coffee. So if you like espresso, so an Americano is just an espresso shot with hot water poured over top of it. If you like espresso, or if you like Americanos or lattes or cappuccino or a macchiato, you got to get an espresso machine. It's amazing. I love it. It's so much better than my coffee machine, the espresso machine, Barista Express. A little bit expensive, but really, really good. High quality, really worth it. So that's what I'm drinking here. I'm drinking an Americano. I feel so bougie drinking an Americano. Okay, let's get to the questions. Under what circumstance would you refer the bookkeeping clients you are turning away to another growing bookkeeping business? So that's a great question. I know a lot of you are probably asking it. You're probably thinking it. So I am not taking on any new bookkeeping clients right now. So I have 70 bookkeeping clients. I started my bookkeeping business 5 years. I grew to the point where I had like 88 clients last year. Now I've got 70. I'm not taking on new bookkeeping clients. Unfortunately, I have 2 local referral partners already. So I'm referring all of my new leads over to the 2 local referral partners, and that's it. So I know there's tons of people on here who would love to get my leads. I appreciate you watching. I'm here to support you. I'm here to teach you and coach you and help you start your own bookkeeping business, but I'm not giving out any leads to anybody other than those 2 local referrals. So please try not to ask me too much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Morning, Zach. How do you set healthy boundaries with clients and know when to stretch those boundaries or cut off? Every client is different. Every personality is different. There's going to be some clients who are total jerks. There are going to be some clients who are total sweethearts. Everybody's different. The jerks, you want to cut off. The sweethearts, I might be willing to push those boundaries a little bit. Everybody's different. At the end of the day, it's all up to you. It's not up to anybody else. We are entrepreneurs, business owners, independent contractors, self-employed. Nobody is managing us. Nobody is forcing us to do anything. Why be miserable as an entrepreneur? That's the whole point. We have the freedom and flexibility to do whatever we want. Take advantage of it. If you are, here's my threshold. Okay, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm super stressed out. That is life. You're always going to be working hard. If you're working hard, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to get frustrated. That is the nature of being a successful person. You're going to be stressed out. But here's my threshold. If it starts impacting me outside of normal business hours on the weekend, if the thought pops into my mind about client XYZ and I have anxiety and I get stressed out and I get overwhelmed and I can't focus and I can't spend quality time with my family because I'm just feeling so overwhelmed and anxious about this client, that is the threshold. That is the turning point. That is the point where, okay, this is impacting my personal life beyond 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So you're going to have the normal stress and frustration during the workday. That's going to happen. That's inevitable. But if it starts impacting you in the evenings while you're trying to sleep, if you can't fall asleep because client XYZ is stressing you out, it's gone too far. That's too much. If it's stressing you out late in the evenings, on the weekend, when you're with your family, when you're relaxing with your friends, it's too much. It's gone too far. Time to get rid of them. Okay, so I do see a super chat. So Hawks Farm, really appreciate that. I will skip ahead and answer your question first, and then I'll go back to the top of the list. Do you have other bookkeepers audit your books? Excuse me. To give you advice about best practices? So typically the CPA will do that for you. So typically whenever it comes time for taxes, the CPA is going to look at everything. And so I usually just take the feedback from the CPA. What are good resources for double checking work? So there's two things here. So during tax time, you're going to send the general ledger, the balance sheet, the P&L to the CPA, to the tax accountant, to the tax preparer. And they're going to look over everything. If they say everything's good, it's good. They're the CPA. They are way more qualified than we are. They are the CPA. They have the license. They have the certifications. They are the experts. So if the CPA says that the general ledger, balance sheet, P&L looks good, then I think I'm good, right? That would make sense to me. So the CPA is going to look through everything during tax time. The other thing you can do is you can send information to your client. The client knows what's going on in their business. Most clients, most savvy business owners know a ton about finances and accounting. So if you are ever curious about what you're doing, send the general ledger to your client. You can do it on a monthly basis. You can do it on a weekly basis. Be like, hey, Mr. Business Owner, we just started working together. I just want to make sure that you are A-okay with how I'm categorizing your transactions. Here is your general ledger from the past 2 weeks. Quickly look this over and let me know if you want me to make any changes. That's the easiest way to do it. That's the easiest way to be open and transparent and cooperative. If a business owner or a tax accountant ever comes at me and says, hey, I want you to change this, I don't get defensive. I say, great. Thank you for the feedback. I will do my best to accommodate your requests. As long as it's within generally accepted accounting principles and as long as it makes sense to me from a bookkeeping perspective and a QuickBooks perspective, and as long as the debits and credits match up, if the tax accountant and the client want me to make changes, I'm here for it. I'm here to cooperate and work together. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get defensive. So ask the CPA who's doing the client's books, and then also ask the client. Send the general ledger to the client, ask them to review it, and let you know if they want you to make any changes. Apart from, so here's another idea. So I'm not trying to sell this, but I will mention this. So apart from those two options, there is a third option. I do have a community of bookkeepers, and we have a private and exclusive meeting every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's about 40 of us in that group. So I cannot individually help you. I cannot be your mentor. But if you join that group, there are 40 other bookkeepers who would probably be willing to help. There's a lot of people at wide variety of experiences. And so there is a link down below to join that private group meeting. Every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a private group meeting, and all the bookkeepers collaborate. We ask questions, we support each other, we hold each other accountable. It can be a great place for new bookkeepers to feel like you have a community to rely on. And if you have questions or if you need help, there are a lot of other bookkeepers there who would be more than willing to help you, more than happy to help you. So the link to join that is down below in the description. If you want to join, by all means, you are welcome to join. It's $49 per month. You can cancel anytime. Okay, let's see. Morning, Zach. Nope, already answered that. Hi, Zach. Can you tell a little bit about taxes? Do we need to take a course about taxes to help our clients? No, I would just make sure you understand the basics. So understand the tax deadlines, understand 1099s, quarterly taxes. So the tax deadlines, right? 1040 individual income tax return is due April 15th. 1120S and 1065 for S corps and partnerships due March 15th. Quarterly tax payments are due April 15th, June 15th, September 15th, and January 15th. So January 15th, 2026, you should have made your final 2025 quarterly tax payment. So it's a little bit confusing. So for 2025 quarterly tax payments, those were due April 15th, June 15th, September 15th, and January 15th of 2026. So that way, ideally, you will have had all of your taxes paid by the time you file your taxes in March or April. And then 1099s are due in January. You got to get a W-9 and then send out the 1099 to independent contractors. Payroll taxes, 940, 941. There's federal payroll tax. There's state and local. There's unemployment compensation. There's workers' compensation. Workers' compensation is kind of insurance. Unemployment compensation is kind of insurance. There's self-employed tax, payroll tax, FICA, Social Security, Medicare. Yeah, I guess if you just kind of know a lot of those things, then you'll be good to go. But I don't think you need to take a course about taxes. And if anybody's feeling overwhelmed by the previous 2 minutes of everything I just said, don't worry. I did not know any of that the first 3 months when I got started. I learned all of that after going through multiple tax seasons. So don't worry. If everything I just said went way over your head, you are not alone. I was in the same situation when I got started. Hi, I just got my first client. Let's go. Newly opened bakery in October, and she wants me to do her opening month. Any tips to setting up QuickBooks for newly opened businesses? A little nervous? Thank you. Chart of accounts, chart of accounts, chart of accounts. That's what it's all about. So connect her bank account to the QuickBooks bank feed, connect her credit card to the QuickBooks bank feed, and just start recording transactions. Don't import a massive, long, overly complicated chart of accounts. Don't do that. Just record transactions as they come up. If she never spends any money on advertising, you don't need an advertising chart of account. Don't create one until you need one. She's going to have rent, utilities, contractor labor, supplies, office supplies and materials, bank charges, sales. That's pretty much it. Honestly, don't overcomplicate things. Repairs and maintenance, maybe she'll have some fixed assets. Maybe there'll be some equipment, some machinery in the bakery. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep things simple. Really, 10 to 15 chart of accounts, 10 to 15 expense chart of accounts. In my opinion, I think that's all you need. And then assets and liabilities, those just come up as she purchases assets, as she takes on new liabilities, add them to the chart of accounts, but just keep things simple. It's totally fine if the first P&L only has 4 or 5 line items. I just started Zip Capital in January. My P&L has 6 line items. I have 6 categories for expenses. I have interest paid, office supplies and software, advertising and marketing, bank charges, and legal and professional fees. I have 5 categories in Zip Capital. I've been running the business for an entire year. Keep things simple. Seriously, do not overcomplicate things. Okay. Man, time kind of flew by today. That's it. I got to go. It's been 30 minutes. Thank you all so much for joining. If you're watching live, I really appreciate you. If you're watching the replay, I really appreciate you on YouTube. If you want to listen to the podcast, it's on Apple, it's on Spotify. If you want to watch on YouTube, I go live every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Seriously, thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a great weekend. If you want to join Zip Capital, I'm offering 8% up to 12% fixed returns. You can invest into my investment fund, invest in Zip Capital. I will pay you 8 to 12% fixed returns per year. You just need to have $25,000 and you need to be an accredited investor. That means you have either $200,000 of annual income or a $1 million net worth. That's not my rule. That is an SEC compliance rule. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. God bless you. I hope you have a great weekend. I will see you all next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Or if you join my private meetings, I'll see you Monday at 3 p.m. Link to join is down below.